Good afternoon, everyone. So, a very hearty welcome to each one of you for this 24th edition of Global Udan webinar series and an ongoing initiative of the Development of International Trade Services and WTO Directorate of ICI. So, thank you, each one of you, for joining. And I think I must thank sincerely to CA Harpreet Singh, an eminent professional with vast experience in international practice and financial outsourcing. Thank you so much. Harpreet has always been so much associated with the directorate, actively involved, has been speaker at various forums through the WTO. And once again, he's here among all of us. Thank you, Harpreet, for joining once again and accepting our invitation. So I'm sure his expertise and guidance will help our members navigate the opportunities in this evolving space with confidence and clarity. And also have Mehek, the moderator. Thank you so much, Mehek, for accepting again our invitation to have you here. I'm sure we'll have an excellent interaction with Harpreet sharing his experience, and then the questions which would be raised by the participant, and also welcome the participants this afternoon, all of you, for joining for this 24th edition of this Global Udan webinar series, which we started in March 2025 with 24 such editions which we have done. And of course, to share with you in the Global Week, which we celebrated from 29th September to 7th of October, 5,000 plus members participated in this virtual Global Week with experts from all over the world, our chapters, representatives, speakers, past presidents, eminent speakers, dignitaries, honorable president, vice president, council members, everybody participated in this global week, which we celebrated in the entire, the Asian countries, the European sectors, the US, and other places where we have our chapters. So it was a big hit and a success, and a lot of appreciation which was received from the participants. Like I said, 5,000 plus participants were there, which was appreciated. And to share with you some of a couple of initiatives of the WTO is, we organize an ITEC program with the Ministry of External Affairs, where 17 countries, 29 participants were there at the Center of Excellence, Hyderabad, which we had an excellent experience on the India's accounting and financial ecosystem under the ICI leadership, where multiple countries participants were there, and so much, the response and feedback and good feedback and appreciation which ICI and the WTO got in terms of the interaction, networking, collaboration, and the initiative from the External Affairs Ministry. And we've got one more, which is planned in December, from 8th of December till 19th of December. That again is on public accounts on the ITEC countries, where we'll be getting participants from all over the ITEC countries. And we hope that we have a batch of 30 again, where we'll have it at the Center of Excellence, Hyderabad. And again, our courses have been doing so successfully well that 10th batch of US market and even the UK first batch, which was launched, has been done. And now we are announcing, or will be very soon launching, the second batch of the UK certificate course, which will be likely to begin in last week of November. And just to share with members that US, UK, and other jurisdictions like Australia, we talk about New Zealand, we talk about Canada. These are jurisdictions where there are a lot of work opportunities on export of services, which is now coming to India. With that, I think we've even thought of having an Australia certificate course. Very soon we'll be starting, maybe by December, mid or January. We have Australia, then we have Canada planned already, and then going forward, New Zealand. So opportunities are tremendous. A lot of collaborations being done by ICI with various jurisdictions, UK FTA, which we know. Then there are other FTAs also government has initiated. So hopefully, a lot of reciprocity events would be organized, opportunities, not just of accounting, I would say bookkeeping, taxation, but even for auditing services will very soon be opened up for professionals, Indian professionals and chartered accountants can do and give services overseas. So I think this is where our effort is on from the WTO, and I'm sure with participants attending these editions of Global Udan Global Week, the World Forum of Accountant again has been already announced in the month of January 30th, 1st and 2nd February 2026, which is there. So I would request each one of you to please register for this WOFA, The discount is on till today, and then we have additional discount which is there again for another week. But certainly would request participants to register for WOPA for having networking collaborations and opportunity, especially tier 1 and tier 2 cities, which get experts from all over the world come and speak on global opportunities. And I think this is a chance for us to attend, meet, interact, and create opportunities and verticals for yourself. So thank you so much, all of you. And once again, thanks, Harpreet. Thanks, Mehak, for joining. And then once again, extend a warm welcome to all the participants for this 24th edition of Global Week. Always available from WTO, me as the convener and the Deputy Convener Sanjeev Singhal and the team from ICIS Council members, always available. Anything for us, any suggestion, inputs, we'll be happy to receive and we'll try to implement those suggestions. Thank you once again, all of you, for joining. Thank you. Mehak, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. And thank you for this great warm welcome and for sharing all the exciting initiatives that lie ahead. So really exciting times for us as a fraternity. A very good afternoon, everyone. It's truly an honor and privilege to be here today in the presence of esteemed members and dignitaries of the Institute. I'd also like to express my sincere
Oh, I think she got disconnected, is it? Yeah, yeah.
sorry, I think I'm audible, sir.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I think I had some connection issue. I'm CM Hekaroral and I have the privilege of working for over 18 years across some various sectors and industries and leading some learning and professional initiatives in the field of audit and assurance. Today, as a part of the Global Udan series, we are focusing on the topic that's not only timely, but I think it's really exciting. Building a global practice, which is tapping the UK financial outsourcing space. Now, the UK's accounting and financial sector stands at, I think, at a fascinating crossroads. Firms are busier than ever, yet they are grappling with a shrinking talent pool, rising costs, and also increasing regulatory pressures. And that's where the opportunity strikes, not as a challenge, but as a gateway. Across the world, India's built a reputation for precision, efficiency, and deep financial expertise. With technology and global collaboration now bridging distances like never before, Indian professionals today have the chance to not only become an integral part of the UK financial backbone, but also contribute heavily. This session today will truly explore how we can tap into this growing outsourcing space. How do we turn capabilities into connections, opportunities, which then go ahead into long-term partnerships. I'll also, it's my pleasure today to introduce you to C.A. Harpreet Singh. Though Abhijit has already mentioned, I'll just elaborate a little more on that. He's truly a distinguished finance professional with over a decade of experience spanning across accounting, outsourcing, reporting, valuation, and data analytics. He's not only a chartered accountant, he wears many feathers in his hat, which is he's a company secretary, a cost accountant, a qualified ACCA, FRM, CPA, and he's also has a degree from the Island Institute and an MBA from Spain, along with a CFA level 2. Oh, that's a long list, sir, which is incredible. He has also worked with leading institutions like RBS and NatWest Markets, where he's really helped build valuation frameworks and really strengthen the international reporting frameworks. As a passionate educator, he has delivered over 100 sessions and ensures that his sessions are absolutely clear, practical, and inspiring. So I would request all of you to join me in warmly welcoming C.A. Harpreet Singh to share his insights on today's topic. Over to you, Harpreet ji.
Yeah, just to add, like you mentioned, Mehak, yes, very insightful. I'm sure we will, because he's most practical. And, once he speak, then we from the WTO get, calls, we get that share his number. We would like to get connected to him, and we should have more sessions of Harpreet. So I think that's truly, we must say is we appreciate so much that he's available for us on various sessions. And just to share for the participants, we have an APO. ICI started a portal in February 2025. I, in fact, missed when I spoke in my opening remarks. Please have a look at this portal, apo.ici.org. Regular updates about the certificate courses, publications. And in fact, when we have created a platform where we are asking the Indian entity to register and also foreign entities to register as this platform and create opportunities and facilitate both these entities to create opportunities among themselves. So it's apo.icai.org. That's the name of the portal. Thank you. Over to you, Harpreet. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Abhay sir and Mehak madam. So respected chairman WTO, vice chairman in absentia, Mehak ji, our moderator for today, the ICI team, and the dear participants. So it's really wonderful to be here and talk to all of you today. And today we are going to actually deep dive the UK market. That is the topic for today. So what it is going to be, the session is going to be very theoretical, or what we are going to cover. So of course we are going to answer all your questions. If you are having that question, okay, I'm not having any UK client, I don't have any visibility, I don't know how the UK market or even the foreign markets, the outsourcing space works. So we are going to cover it all. Okay, so what we are going to have in the end of the session, so we are going to have an action plan. Okay, 90-day action plan, what I am going to do starting from tomorrow, what I am going to do. Am I going to have some certifications? Am I going to reach out to people on LinkedIn? Am I going to send them cold emails, or am I going to talk to someone over the phone, etc.? How I am going to join different webinars, different things that are happening, so that I can have more and more networking, or basically how I can price whatever has to be proposed. Okay, how I am going to have my contracts. Okay, contracts I am going to have less emphasis, because of course there's a lot to cover in the space, and of course we are having dedicated course also which runs for multiple number of days. So basically, of course, in this 2 hours we will try to squeeze in everything. We will have a session for 1.5 hours, and then thereafter we are going to have your specific questions also, so that I'll of course I'm going to restrict my session to that. Okay, so we are going to talk about the pricing strategy also. We are going to talk about all the tools that you have to master, all the certifications that you want to have, okay, how to approach, and the 90-day action plan. So we are going to cover it all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. So whatever questions come to your mind, you can just note it down, keep your pen and paper ready, or you want to take digital notes, you have your phone or computer Word document ready. So keep noting down each and everything. You can take screenshots also. Otherwise, I don't want you to forget any of your questions. So whenever the question comes, you just note it down. And in the end of the session, we are going to have all the questions, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and we are going to start. Okay, what we are going to, let me hide this floating meeting controls. Okay, what we are going to cover today, we are going to have an introduction to the UK financial outsourcing market, and we are going to talk about, okay, why you, why me, why Indian chartered accountants are in high demand, and what we can do to leverage this position. Of course, we are all Institute of Chartered Accountant of India members. How can we leverage this positioning of Indian CAs, so that we can have a good client base outside India also? Okay, so we are going to have a step-by-step guide how to enter the UK market. We are going to see what are the key compliances, what are the regulation, and there is a lot of concern about the data security, because when you are going to enter this UK market, of course, this is going to be very important concern of the clients. Okay, and then of course there are tech stack and the communication tool, what all communication tool, what all other tools I should have, what all accounting tools I should be proficient in. So we are going to talk about few case studies also. We are going to talk about the common mistakes. Okay, what common mistakes do people do, and how you can avoid those common mistakes. And we are going to talk about the resources. Of course, you have to learn a few things. Okay, of course, in India we are having Ind AS, and in the UK we are having IFRS, and then we are having FRSs also, financial reporting standard also, which are the local standards, which are not the international standard, which are the standards which are applicable to the small and medium entities. Okay, so we are going to talk about FRS 102. If you have heard of HMRC, okay, what all these things, what all these terminologies mean, I don't know anything about it. So we will start from scratch and we'll try to build our understanding. So first, of course, you have taken the right first step. You have joined this webinar, and of course, after that, we are going to gradually build up our knowledge and gradually build our practice. Also, that's why I'm going to give you a 90-day action plan. First day, what you are going to do, second day, what you are going to do, third day, all of those days we are going to talk about, and we are going to have our final checklist. Okay, what all I have to do, because this is not something that I am going to just listen for 1.5 hours, 2 hours, and I am going to just get back to my normal work. No, don't think that is your target. Think that you have to dive into the UK markets, and you take it as a first step that you have taken. After first step, definitely you will have to take second, third, fourth step. And if you think that you want to do more in the space, of course, you can join the UK course also, which Abhay sir has mentioned. Okay, all right, sir. Let us start with the first thing. Let us have the introduction to the UK financial market. Okay, so in the UK financial market, of course, the market size is 5.2 billion. Of course, that's a huge number. Of course, we are having this 5.2 billion market. That means it is 55,000 crores, and it is increasing by 12% per annum. And why it is increasing? Of course, because there is a dearth of skilled people there, and they are having a lot of requirements. Why they are having a lot of requirement? Because there are new and new initiative making tax digital initiative, MTD. If you can Google, you can chat GPT or whatever. MTD is a making tax digital, and of course they have introduced it for VAT, and now they have introduced it for income tax. So because of that, uh, all the uh, accounting and everything has to be digital only. All the returns have to be digital only. That means, and they are going to be on the softwares which are authorized. So once you are having everything digital, does not matter whether you are sitting in UK and giving the services there, or you are sitting in India and you are giving the services there. So of course there is a huge market size which is there, and there the accountants are costlier also. Second thing, they are having their age factor also. Of course, here in India, we are having very young chartered accountants. And third thing is, of course, there is a lot of cost saving which is going to happen. Why? Why cost saving, sir? Are we focusing on cost saving only when I am going to introduce myself? Am I going to say that I am going to save your cost? No. Of course, we are not going to focus on the cost saving. We are going to focus on the better services and qualified chartered accountants that we are offering. We are offering a lot of expertise. Of course, we have done a very technical, very good course, which is chartered accountancy, and we have learned about everything. The accounting we are having Ind AS, and which is very close to IFRS. And once you know IFRS, it is very easy to understand what are FRS, financial reporting standard. 102 is the main standard. Of course, 101, 103, 4, 5 are also there, 1A are also there, right? So all these things are there. But what I'm trying to tell you is, of course, I have learned accounting, I know auditing, and the tax provisions here in India are very complex. So I have gone through all those complex tax provisions also, right? Of course. And apart from that, of course, I understand the financial management, I understand cost, everything I have gone through in my CA curriculum. So in the price where the UK people, if they want to hire someone locally, they are going to have an accountant, only a accountant. Here you are having in the same price, or even a little lesser, at a little lesser, you are having a qualified chartered accountant with all those knowledge and the technical expertise, right? And of course 60% SME are using outsourcing. So right now the situation is that you don't have to actually convince them for outsourcing, because they already know that outsourcing is the thing that is very much required. They have identified that. Only thing is that you have to do is, why me? why they would like to have you as their outsourcing partner. So this is going to be focused. So we have to build our expertise. Of course, we have to reach out to them, how we have to reach out to them, how to get our first client. So all these things we are going to cover. Yes. So yes, these are the digital transformation is happening. And now with the advent of AI, with the after this pandemic, everyone is online. So people are meeting over Zoom, people are meeting over talking over MS Teams, and all of this. So whether you're working here in India, whether you're working there, it is more or less similar. And there are a lot of advantages also that we are having as compared to people sitting there. There are a lot of time zone difference advantages also that we are having, and all other things we are going to cover that. And what is another thing? Brexit impact. So earlier what was happening was there were people from Poland, there were people from Germany who were working there in UK, and there was a easy immigration, easy migration from one place to another, and they were not having that much dearth of qualified accountant. But now after Brexit, that this is the situation, because they are not able to fulfill the requirements at the local level, and secondly they are having uh, of course being the with the increase of MTD, there's a lot of increase in the requirement of this skill, because everything is going digital, and a lot of documentation has also increased. And yes, there is a skills shortage also. 45% of UK firms struggle to find qualified accountant locally. Okay, now this question takes me to the thing whether my client is going to be a business entity, or whether my client is going to be a UK accounting firm. So this is also a question that we are going to answer, whether my client is going to be a big organization, or whether my client is going to be a small organization, small and medium organization. We are also going to have a run through of my pitch deck. So basically, a presentation which I will keep ready, so that whenever I have a short or long call, I can present that deck to them. Okay, these are the skills that I am having. These are the skills that my team is having. These are the certifications. These are our clients. These are our testimonial. These are our sample financial statements, sample accounting, sample VAT return, something like that. Of course, all those things are very, very important. Okay, and of course, there have been hybrid models. So there is a growing preference for long-term partnership over project-based work, of course. And this is going to be my focus. That yes, we are going to be there for long-term partnership, and for long-term partnership, what is the main thing? Trust. Trust is the main thing. How the trust comes? Trust comes with the brilliant work which is delivered in time and without much hassle, because you have to understand that you are going there as a facilitator, you are not going there for increasing their work. So basically you have to solve their problems, but yes, you will have to charge for that also properly. You will have to communicate everything properly, and the communication that happens here over phone, there that the modes are going to change there. So we will talk about, of course, starting from day one. We are going to go there. Uh, we are going to go further in the things when we are having our first client, how to handle that work, and of course, how to increase the client. So all the things and what to keep in mind while you are having your clients. So all the things we are going to cover. Okay, what are the services which are in high demand? Of course, there is a bookkeeping, the accounting, normal accounting, and the account preparation. So all the invoicing, etc., the accounting, all these things, the cash management, all these things are being part of this bookkeeping. So this is so there are services which are very high in demand. There are services where there's a medium demand. So we are having different services which you can offer. Now think of these as services which you are having in India. So it is more or less the same. Only thing is the regulations are going to change, the softwares are going to change, the communication mediums are going to change, the output is going to change. So all these things are going to change slightly, but ultimately it is the same thing that you are doing here for the Indian practice. Okay, now Second thing is the VAT return. So here we are having GST, there we are having VAT return, there are quarterly VAT returns there. And what is MTD? MTD is making tax digital. So everything is going to be digital in my computer, right? And of course, these services are very high in demand, and these are the basic services also. First of all, you are going to start with the bookkeeping only, right? So this is the first step. You don't have to start with the tax planning and advisory, because of course tax planning and advisory require a very much technical skill. You need to understand their taxation very well. But when it comes to bookkeeping, our IFRS, our Indias and their IFRS both are on the same line, so you don't have to worry a lot. FRS, which are applicable to small medium entities, of course they are also similar and with a lot of lesser requirements. So this is going to be my sweet spot. I will start with bookkeeping. Sir, what service I'm going to give first? Day one, it is going to be bookkeeping and accounts preparation. This is going to be monthly activity, and this can be a hourly activity also. We are going to talk about the rates, etc. Also, of course, average rate is also written there. Now, then of course the VAT return, you can file VAT return all. And then third thing is the management account. So you can prepare all the MISs, all the dashboards and each and everything. So this is another work that you can do. This is a little technical work, so of course you can see the pricing per hour is also higher. Then of course it's a payroll processing. So payroll processing is the one which is going to have the maximum impact, because if the payroll is wrong, then you are going to feel it immediately, because a lot of people are going to complain to the business, and then you are going to feel the heat actually. Okay, then is the financial analysis and reporting. Everything is done. You are having full accounts. Now is the time to prepare the financial statements and the final reports, all the notes to accounts and everything that we also prepare here in India for our clients. And there the financial statements can be of different nature depending upon whether you are having a small entity, whether you are a medium entity, or whether you are a micro entity. So all these terminologies are applicable there, or whether you are having you are an entity which is going to consolidate a few of the firms or companies. So of course it is going to be different for different type of clients. Then of course tax planning and advisory is a very niche area, and which is going to require a lot of technical understanding of their tax structure and what are the different exemptions and everything that they are having. So of course this comes last in my list, but this is the most remunerative also. Okay, all right. Sir, we understood that yes, there is a requirement, and there is a requirement in the UK financial market. And I understand that there are services which are in high demand or medium demand also. Okay, so I understood it. Now, why Indian Chartered Accountant? So first of all, there is going to be 40 to 60% cost savings. Sir, how the savings are going to happen, that you tell me. How the savings are going to happen? So first of all, if they want to hire someone locally, what they are going to have, they are going to give a base salary. Base salary means if you are having a accountant, normal accountant, which is a AAT qualified, so what you are going to pay him or her, it is going to be around 24 to 25,000 pounds. Okay, but apart from that, what you are going for that person, that is going to be 13%. Okay. So if there is any issue with my internet, you please let me know. So 13% cost, then 3% is going to be the going to be around 28-30 days, which is required there as per the law. Then you are going to allow sick leave also. You are going to hire the office space also there for that person. You are going to have computer, software, everything. Training, of course, you are going to train that person. And then, of course, there are recruitment costs also. And when that person goes, then, of course, you are going to have again all these cost, hiring and everything, and the notice period. All these things are going to happen. Now, after keeping all these costs together, it is going to be around 35-40,000 pounds, which is around 40 lakh rupees, you can say. But if you are a qualified CA here in India, it is going to be similar. It is going to be similar. So you are going to say charge 20 pound per hour. And for example, in a week, you are having 40 hours work, right? So approximately, let's not go into the calculations a lot, then you are almost going to be of a cost of 40,000 pound per year. So it is the costing is going to be similar when you are having a local hire versus whether you are having a person who is in India and you have outsourced the work. But what is the difference is there in the same price you are having a accountant, basic accounting work who understand. But here in India, you are having a qualified chartered accountant who is having, say, for example, 10-year experience, 5-year experience, 20-year experience, whatsoever. And who has gone through a very tough curriculum. So if you see ACCA, if you see CPA, all of these are having around 45-50% pass percentage. But here in India, of course, we already know that pass percentage are very less. So we go through that tough curriculum also. We go through the 3 years or of course 2.5 years intense training also that we are having. So all of these things make a differentiating factor, and there is a lot of convenience flexibility also. So for example, quarterly you are having a, why I'm telling you all these points, because these points are going to be part of your pitch, that yes, these are the advantages you are having if you are having me as your partner, right? Okay, that's why I'm telling you all of this. Okay, so sir, there's a lot of flexibility also if you are having quarterly returns, and there's going to be a lot of pressure on every quarter, but the month ends are going to be easier, so you can have more hours allocated on every quarter. So you are going to have the cost as variable and not fixed. So of course, this is the initial proposal. Later on, it turns out into the fixed cost itself, monthly cost itself. But initially it's a variable cost. So whenever you require more hours, you pay more. So there's a lot of flexibility, and this flexibility actually gives you a lot of advantage, because there they have to pay the fixed salary. Here you are having variable, and since you are being paid for the work, so you focus on the work delivery. Well, whereas if the person is there who is sitting as an employee, there might be some issues also. He is working, and of course, they are less flexible as compared to what we can deliver here. So, all of course, we are having a lot of advantages, and of course, our first business language is English only for the chartered accountant. So that gives a lot of confidence also in terms of communication. So we are very confident in video calls. We understand, and we are able to write emails. We are able to talk normally. So yes, English is not a problem, because in many nationalities their first language, and they are very not very good at English. So that is an advantage with us. Secondly, of course, if there is a little bit of struggle there, so we are having a lot of tools today which give the meeting notes also after you are, for example, Zoom AI Companion, which takes notes of whatever is being discussed. So yes, there are a lot of things which are there, and the CA qualification come in the top 5. So yes, all of these advantage, the cost saving is there, and there's a time zone advantage also. What time zones are? Okay, so they are, for example, we are 4.5 hours or 5.5 hours before them. Okay, why 4.5, 5.5? Why? Two things you have told, because there's a concept of daylight saving there. So in the winters, there's a daylight saving concept. So the time difference changes, but still you are 4.5 hours for minimum. You are 4.5 hours ahead of them. So when they are going to start in the morning, 8:30, they are going to start. At that point of time, you are already at 1 p.m. So you see, you have half of your office timing before them. So whenever they are going to come in the morning, they are going to have everything ready, because you have already worked for 4 or 5 hours on the things that was discussed previously. So that is a time zone advantage we are having. Of course, rigorous training we have, technical proficiency we have, cost-effective expertise we have, cultural adaptability is also there. So of course, all these standards are closer. All these standards are closer to what we have learned. So there's no issue there also. And as compared to US, UK is more culturally close to India because of the colonial history and all. So that also helps. And of course, there are some similarities also. Okay, so time zone leverage is there, scalability is I have discussed, right? Okay, that's fine. Now, what is a step-by-step guide, sir? I understand that yes, I am the one. The Indian CAs are in demand. I understand that yes, the UK outsourcing market is all good. I understand there are a lot of services, but sir, how to enter it? What is going to be my first step? How I am going to started? You talk about the 90-day plan? So that is something which is very important for me. Of course, I am going to talk about the pitch deck also, what I am going to do. So yes, we are going to talk all about all of these things. So let us talk about the 90-day plan and let us start with that. 1 second. Let me just yeah. Okay. All right. So, sir, day one, tomorrow, what I'm going to do? First of all, there are a lot of let me show you. There are a lot of softwares that are there. So in India, we are working on Tally. There we are working on Zero. So it is having a huge market share. 35% market share is there. So first of all, you need to be proficient on this software Zero, right? You need to be proficient on QuickBooks. You need to be proficient on Sage, Free Agent. So all these softwares are there on which people are having their accounting done, right? These are the approved softwares. So first of all, here I am having learning of Tally. Likewise, I need to understand how to make an entry, how to do the reconciliation, how to book cash and everything. So invoicing. So all these things I need to understand how to do in Zero. So what I have to do, first of all, I have to take a certification. Zero certification I will have to take. Okay, and these certifications are free, by the way. So you go on the website and you just go through the videos that they are having. You register, you go through the videos. In one day, you are going to be certified Zero. Next day, you are going to be certified QuickBooks, right? Okay, and of course, Sage, we are not talking because this is for the bigger firms and the traditional firms. So of course, this is also another thing which you are going to understand. Okay, then of course, there are a lot of tools that you are going to talk about. Okay, how I'm going to have my money. Of course, you have delivered now. So how you are going to receive your amount. There are other things also which you have to keep in mind, of course, and the communication. Here we are communicating right now through Zoom. Of course, there also every communication happen through Zooms or Microsoft Teams or Google Meet. So these are the channels where you are going to have the video conferencing. Now, the video conferencing, and you have to make this thing clear in the beginning itself that yes, what we are going to have is we are going to have meetings maybe once you come to your 8 to 1:32. So we are going to have all the meetings. So you give 4, 5, 6 hours of window to them that yes, we are going to have our meetings in this time. And don't commit that we are going to work late and then we are going to give you full time availability. So this is something which you should clear them. So before video conferencing, of course, you are going to have instant messaging. So whenever anything and everything happens, so Microsoft Teams is the one which is the most popular. So every conversation happen on Teams. You are going to share the files over also Teams. You are going to have they are going to share files with over Teams. So of course there are going to be separate Teams group that you are going to make. So this is also another thing. And of course, you can have a professional email. Also, the Google Workspace also provide you your name at your firm. So of course, I will need to have my email management system, instant messaging system, file sharing. Of course, I am going to have Google Drive, Dropbox. So which is very common nowadays. Project management you may or may not need, depending upon whether you are starting or whether you are having now the number of clients, right? And of course, time tracking is also there. Sir, so why I have gone to Zero and everything, because I am going to have my 90-day plan. So basically what you are having is you are having right now your webinar. What you are going to do after all of this. I have understood that there's a huge market. I have understood that yes, I am fit for that. The CA qualification is enough. Yes, of course, this question also come whether CA qualification enough, whether I need to have ICAW qualification, ACCA, or anything other AAT or something like that, or whether I need to register as an agent with HMRC. Of course, we are going to cover all of these things also. But let me tell you, your CA qualification is enough, is very much renowned, respected there, right? Of course, there are other technicalities, whether I am going to sign the financial statements or not, audit, etc. But we have not covered in our services that. I am starting with the accounting only, right? And I am going to then talk about the payroll. I am going to talk about the VAT. So yes, all these things, but yes, wherever I am having certain restrictions, that's okay. So we are going to talk about that also. But what I have to do next day, day one, what is going to happen, sir? Yes, I have now attended the webinar. I know there is a market. What I'm going to do is, first of all, so you are going to divide it into few parts. First of all, you have to do a little bit of research. You have to learn. You have to get certified. Then you have to set up a little bit of infrastructure. Of course, then you are going to have a market entry. Then what you're going to do, then you're going to acquire the client. Sir, can I start with the client acquisition first? Day one, let us acquire the client. No, it will not work, because we have already talked that yes, it is a long-term association, and long-term is depending on the trust. And trust, how you are going to have, first of all, you are going to research. First of all, you are going to understand. First of all, you are going to get certified, and then you are going to enter the market. Okay, all right. Sir, let us start with the things. Okay, first day, what I'm going to do. First day, you go to the Zero website. Okay, if you type XERO0 on the computer and you say Zero Advisor Certification, so it will take you to the website, and there what you have to do is you have to just register yourself. I will give you the links also if you want. But yes, so for example, if you go to Zero. Okay. Zero learning. So it's already there. So you can go there and you can have the certification. Okay, what kind of certification it is? Let us stick to this. It is a little bit slow. Okay, first of all, you have to create your Zero account, and then you have to start the advisor certification course. There you are going to understand, okay, what Zero is all about, what is the accounting interface, etc. Then of course, how the bank reconciliation happens, invoicing, billing happens, the report analytics happens, and of course it works on mobile phone also, how it happens, the migration of different accounts, conversion, all of these things you are going to talk about, because it is the most popular accounting software in the UK market. So yes, I need to understand how it works, because everything is going to happen on Zero only, for example, right? That is why, first of all, I am the way we understood it tally when we entered the articleship, and then we started working on that. First day we just saw the interface. So that is what you have to do. Now you have been well versed with one or two accounting software. You have to be well versed with Zero also, because most of the organizations are using that only. Okay, all right. Now, sir, day one, I have got the Zero certification. Day two, what I have to do? Day two, you have to go to QuickBooks website. Same way, you have to get the QuickBook Pro Advisor certification, right? Okay, it is also free. So in one day, you can have this QuickBooks also, right? Okay. So what I'm going to do? Okay, let us type on Excel. Okay, so day one, you are having Zero certifications. Day two, you are having the QuickBooks certifications. So if you see, if you go here back, if you see, if I may show you, Zero is 35%, QuickBooks is 25% of the market share. So you have already touched the software which is being used by 60% of the UK entities. So it is a big, big market, right? First of all, first step is I have learned the softwares, I have got the certification. Now, learning the software is also very important. Getting the certification is also very important, because I am going to create a profile. Where I'm going to create a profile? Yes, the things that you are thinking of, which you have heard of, there are a lot of websites where I have work is there, right? You must have heard of all these names. Fever is there, a lot of other names. So I'm going to make my account there, and of course I my profile there. So for this, of course, I need to get this certification so that people can trust on me, right? So of course, 2 days you have worked, and 2 days what you have done is you have got the Zero also, you have got QuickBooks also. Now, day three is there, sir. What I am going to do? Day three, I am going to go to HMRC website. Okay, sir, what is this HMRC? HMRC is their their taxation website, just like we are having here CBIC, right? Sorry, Central Board of Indirect Taxes, CBDT, direct taxes. So all these things are there also, right? So HMRC website, you are going to go there and you are going to understand about how the VAT registration happens, how the VAT return is going to happen, right? You can have the YouTube videos also. Other than that, we are having everything of this, which is part of our UK course also. So you go to your HMRC website, you watch some videos on all these things. So your VAT registration, how the VAT is return structure is there. You see the different templates, right? And then you go and you check the MTD also, what is making tax digital and how all of this taxation digitally happens. So, sir, day 3, I have got understanding. So we are gradually building up our portfolio, the profile. So I have understood about the accounting. I have understood about the taxation. Sir, now it is time to go to Upwork or any other. Okay, let us start with Upwork because it is the biggest one. So you go there, you create a profile, right? You have a good profile photograph and you write in the in the overview section, there's an overview section there. There are a lot of sections, title section, overview section. So in the overview section, you mentioned that I am a qualified chartered accountant from India, yes, back in the brackets India, which is specializing in UK bookkeeping, VAT return, and account preparation. Okay, so you have mentioned all of that, right? Why? Because you have already done zero certification, you have done QuickBooks certification, you have gone through HMRC website and all the understanding you have built in 3 days, right? I am focusing on building my UK practice now, right? So you have got your portfolio and what you have to upload there apart from that in the upload section. So you have to upload your zero certification, you have to upload your QuickBooks certification, and if you want to delay it by 1 day, you can, on the 4th day, you can prepare some sample works. Okay, I will prepare some sample works also. So I can upload some of the sample works there, okay, with any anonymized data, any sample data. I have created some P&L statement, balance sheet, or any VAT return, just to show that, yes, I am having some technical skills. I have worked also. Now, there is a skill section. What I'm going to add there, I'm going to add bookkeeping, accounting, financial accounting, QuickBooks, Zero, payroll, financial reporting, UK taxation, VAT return, Microsoft Excel, financial analytics, accounts payable, receivable. Why I am adding all of these in my skill section? Because people are going to maybe filter on a particular word and your portfolio is coming there or not, your profile is coming there or not. So that is a thing which we are ensuring by that. So of course, when we have to create our profile, we have to be mindful of adding all of these things, of course. And then of course, next section is the hourly rate. So you have to mention what is the hourly rate that you are charging for different work. So yes, so it can be anything from £15 to 28, £30 per hour also. But yes, when you are starting, you are not having any of the clients, so you start with £15 per hour, right? Okay, £15, £20, £18 per hour. And of course, then there are a lot of tests also on Upwork. So you can go through those tests. There are tests on accounting, bookkeeping, QuickBooks also, Excel also, and others also. So you can do the test. It will reflect as if you have completed those skill tests. So you should do all of those things and try to get 80% plus marks. So it actually boosts your profile so that you are having the understanding. Then, sir, I have now understanding of Zero, QuickBooks, the taxation also. A little bit of sample work is also there. Maybe on the 5th day, I am having my Upwork done. My profile is completed, created. Now, sir, what I have to do? I have to create the LinkedIn profile also. Sir, I have already my LinkedIn profile. Now, do I have to create LinkedIn profile again? No, you have to make a few modifications. Okay, what you have to do? You have to add something in your headline, maybe chartered accountant helping UK firm, something like that. Or Indian CA, which is helping the UK firms or zero and QuickBooks certified bookkeeping, VAT, and accounting, something like that. You can type in the headline. Then, of course, in your about section, you can mention that I am a chartered accountant qualified through ICAI, or I am having experience in financial accounting, auditing, taxation, and my specialization is UK accounting firm and small businesses, where I help them with the bookkeeping, VAT compliance, financial report. So you have to mention it in your LinkedIn profile at that, because what people are going to do if you are having this kind of work involvement, people are going to visit your LinkedIn also. Then of course you are going to mention and add your zero certificate, your QuickBooks certificate, and if you are having a website, of course all of these things you are going to add in the experience. And in the skill section, again here also you are going to mention all these things which we added in the Upwork. Okay, now sir, what I have to do, all of these things are created, and now it's time to start applying for all of these things, the Upwork application I have to do. Okay, so I created my profile. I have to now apply. And what you have to do is, so there is a search box. You will have to search for UK bookkeeping. So all of these things, UK bookkeeping, right? UK VAT, some, for example, you search for zero bookkeeping, something like that. You search for QuickBooks. So all these searches you are going to do, and you are going to see whether there are any works which are there, whether there are any jobs which are there where you can apply. So these are specific works which you are going to apply. And here you have to keep in mind that you don't apply for the jobs where it is written need ASAP, because you are very new to the thing, you don't understand these things. But what you have to do is you have to focus on the ones where you have sufficient time, and don't apply where a lot of applications are already there, where 200, 300 proposals are there already. So the chances of getting an allocation, being a new person, decreases a lot. And you be ready with the consistent efforts on this application, because of course there are a lot of people there, and they are going to apply the moment there is a new job which is flat. So right, people are that much ready that whenever there is any notification, so they apply it then and there. So people are very fast with the things. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to actually give proposal for each and every job. What is your proposal, what you're going to do, what is going to be your price. So you have to write each and every proposal customized, right? You don't have to just copy and paste one template. You don't have to do that. You just see what is the requirement, and then you have to customize your response, your proposal. Okay, and it is going to include, okay, what is going to be the thing that you are going to do, what you are already having as a qualification, your technical knowledge, all these things, what you actually have, and what is the price, etc., that you are going to charge. So you have to mention all of these things, right? Okay, so now you have started applying to the jobs. So after applying one job, don't think that you are going to get it. So you'll have to keep applying, but don't do the thing that you apply to 1,000 jobs, right? Continuously you are applying. First of all, that is not going to allow you. Secondly, you are going to get nothing, right? You have to be actually fast first in applying. So if there are 200, 300 application already, you think that there are going to be very less chances of you getting there. So what you have to do is you have to be one of the few first who are going to apply, and you keep applying, but with the customization, right? So you don't do the template thing and keep applying all of them. Just see, okay, this is the thing that I can do, and then you apply. Okay. Okay. Then what I am going to do is, side by side, what you are going to do, you are going to do some networking also. Now you have created LinkedIn, so you do some networking. You go to different websites. For example, there is accounting web. Here there are different forums which are there. So you browse them. Okay, what are the different forums? These are the forums where the different accounting firms are there. Okay, now the question arises, who are going to be my first client? Your first client is going to be the accounting firms which are there in UK. Okay, sir, my clients are not going to be the businesses. Yes, most probably your clients, first clients are not going to be the businesses. They are going to be the firms which are having the work. They are going to outsource to you. So your client might not be knowing at all about you that you are doing the work. Possibly they are going to just get the work done and then they are going to present as if they have done, right? So it's something like that is going to happen. But what you are getting by way of this is you are getting the experience, right? So you have done any one single work done for the UK client. That means that is adding to your experience how the things work. Now the practical implementation has started happening. So till the time, and in a 1 week, I am saying that practical implementation started happening, but it can be possible that for the 30, 40 days, you are not having reaching this stage. It is possible, but we just have to be consistent with our effort and we have to be organic. We don't have to just, send the LinkedIn request and to a lot of people. Just see, okay, which are the firms which are there, not bigger firms, because in the bigger firms, and there are a lot of applications which are there and they take size. First of all, you are going to be ignored. Second thing, they are going to take a good amount of time if they want to have a tie up. And big firms actually see a lot of different things before actually outsourcing or giving any work to anyone. Smaller firms who are in need of resources, they are having the work, they are having the client, but they are not able to fulfill, or there are some tight timelines, then you are going to get those clients. So basically, you have to be very choosy when you are applying, when you are networking on different platforms. So of course, there's a LinkedIn also, there accounting web also, there is a Reddit also, there is a Zero community also, there is a QuickBooks community also. So you have to be available here because you are also there. The client, who is your client? The UK accounting firms, they are also there, smaller, bigger, all are there. So basically, there are chances of getting the work, right? So you have to be available. You have to see, okay, what all conversations are going on. You register your interest and don't be very pushy. You just have to have a slight nudge. So, for example, I found, I go to LinkedIn and I found, okay, what are the UK firms so which are there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, for example, type who's the accounting firm in the plus UK, something like that. I will type in the LinkedIn. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send the request to them, and what I'm going to type is very normal message that yes, I am also working in this space. I'm an Indian firm, or a partner of Indian firm who's working in the similar space. So thought to connect because we are having the common work things. So something like that you type and then you send the request. It is possible that all of them might not accept. Maybe even there is a one acceptance, and then of course you start the conversation day one, day two, and then things are going to happen like that. Okay. What are your target things that you are going to do? You are going to have this, all these communities. Community thing is done. Sir, next day, what I am going to do now, you have joined all these communities. Now you have to increase the all of these things. First of all, what you are going to do is you are going to have the UK knowledge, UK accounting knowledge increased, right? What you're going to do is you are going to understand about what is the FRS, what is FRS 102, what is FRS 105, 1A, or others. What are all those things which are there? So these are basically the standards which are relating to accounting. All so basically these are IFRS or Ind AS versus IFRS. I'll type versus IFRS. So just like in India, we are having AS versus Ind AS. AS is applicable on the small entities and Ind AS are applicable on the listed entities or the huge entities. Likewise, in UK, there are different standards which are applicable on different types of entities. So that is the actual difference between the FRS and IFRS. So I will go through the FRS also, and these are primarily the same principles which are there in our Indias. So we don't have to worry a lot about it, but you have to have understanding. Okay. Of course, I am going to go to HMRC website also, and there is a self-assessment there, which on different topics. I'm going to understand that also, and of course I'm going to make a notes, make an understanding. I'm going to see a lot of videos on things, and there are a lot of videos from the people who have done it, so you can see who videos of the people, the successful people, how people have entered into different type of services. There's a virtual CFO services also, so you will have a lot of guidance on these things. But of course, we are here in this webinar, and you are having the similar experience here also, right? Okay. Now, in the LinkedIn, you have started building your network. Yes, in the different forums, accounting forums, etc., you have started building your network. Now, of course, you have to nourish that network. You have to go to LinkedIn every day, and you have to see, okay, what your new connections have posted, and of course, you have to do a thoughtful reply on the posts. Try to be more engaging and thoughtful. Means, of course, you read the post and then you try to have your thoughts, your expertise, so that it reflects that you also know about it. Don't write a lot long comments, but yes, you just have to be engaging, right? Then of course you are going to add a lot of different things on your LinkedIn profile. Of course, you're going to add things on your LinkedIn profile. You're going to post about all these things. So maybe a small article on what are the top 5 mistakes that we do in UK VAT filing. Right now you have started building your knowledge also. You start sharing your knowledge also, so that your LinkedIn actually reflects what you are trying to do or what you know already. So yes, that's a good way to actually get attraction, so that whosoever is going to come to your uh, LinkedIn is going to see, okay, that you are in this space and you're working actually, and you know about all these things. And of course, since you are in touch with those people, so they are also going to see. Okay, so what you have to do is, a few things that you have to do is, whenever there is any message, so you have to respond very quickly. So just be more responsive. Within 2 hours, 1 hour, you just have to respond. So on LinkedIn, be active. On all these platforms, be active, because what I'm going to do is, of course, a leaner time period is going to start after our this text audit and everything. Now this is the right time to get onto this thing. So what you have to do is, you have to start building your knowledge also. And for example, the UK payroll, you start building your knowledge. What is the pay system? What is RTI, real time information, right? So what you all, you have to build your understanding around what is this space, right? So all of these things you are going to understand. The accounting software you have understood. You have started building your network. You have started registering on Upwork. You have started bidding for different projects that are there. And of course, this is the process that has started. Now, after all of this, that day has finally come when you have got your first work, right? And don't think that day is going to come very fast, very soon. Of course, you are going to have your own efforts, and after your efforts, that is going to happen. Okay, after momentum building, working, connecting with a lot of people, then of course it's going to happen. What you're going to do now? Now what you're going to do, you have to pick up the work. Now the work is there already. Now, where there are more chances to get the work where there are less applicants. Okay. If it is a work which people are not picking up because it is very difficult, or for example, it is something which is not very remunerative, so of course that work is not going to be picked up by a lot of people. So there are chances that you get that work easily, but there are certain problems with that. Possible that you are going to have a lot of issues in the work, and the accounts are all messed up. You have to do a lot of work to get it all sorted. So you have to make a conscious choice that you, first of all, you want to put in that much time. Secondly, if you put in that much time, would you be able to deliver? Because of course you are just starting, and the negative reviews, negative feedbacks work very, very negatively. So you have to be very mindful of the thing that you pick up on Upwork, etc. So whenever anything that you have picked up, so what you have to do is you have to deliver as per their requirements. And whenever you are picking up, of course, you have to be very clear on the timelines. Okay. So when you are going to deliver and what you are going to deliver, right? That is very, very important, because all the communication that is going to happen is going to be very, very clear. Otherwise, for example, they are asking about something and you are delivering something else, because there are a lot of terminologies that are different at their places and are regime, accounting, taxation regime. So you have to be mindful about that also. Okay. And what you have to do is you have to keep updating them. Okay, what is the status? So it's not like you are updating every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, but for example, either you have done something important has been completed. Secondly, you can have a daily update, kind of daily, one message is going, two messages are going. And in the beginning, you be mindful who is actually communicating on the front, right? Because the beginning things are very, very important, and your communication is everything. They don't know what is happening in your office. They only know what you are telling them, right? First of all, if there is anything which is not going to be delivered on time, you tell them in advance. So whatever they are having, they will tell you. Okay, so basically there are times when they tell you, they give you very, very tough timelines, and they tell you that I need to get it delivered by this time, right? And you know that whatever you do, that is not going to be delivered by that time. First of all, you have to tell them in advance whenever you are picking that work up, that yes, you have mentioned these timelines, but given the amount of work that is there, or given the current bandwidth that I am having, I will be able to deliver maybe your timeline plus 5 days. So either they are going to agree or disagree. So one thing is, of course, you are going to lose your work. One thing is that, but negative comments, negative feedbacks are not at all dear. So you have to avoid those. One way of having these conversation in a better manner is you tell them, okay, so if this is a timeline which practically I might not be able to meet, so what we can do is we can deliver a few things earlier. So you can tell me what should be the order of the delivery, right? Sequence of delivery, order of delivery, so that if there is anything crucial, we will deliver it first. If there is anything which is less important or which can wait for some time, we will deliver it later on also, right? And of course, whenever you are going on video calls, so you have to be mindful of okay, what they are viewing. And whenever you are having your accounts and your files, all those things, of course, you might keep it on the OneDrive, etc., so that they also can have the access, and they can also see, okay, what is happening. Now the transparency actually helps people a lot, because since you are remote, you are very new, and they might not know you. So it adds to a lot of confidence on your capabilities, and they are going to get the real-time updates what you're doing, right? Okay. And of course, what you have to do is you have to once you have started working on that and you have your first call, you have to give everything in writing. So you can send the email after each and every call, and then you can summarize, okay, what was discussed between you, and what is the scope of work, what actually you are going to do, what is going to be the approach, what are going to be the timelines, what are going to be the pricing. All these things you have to mention on the email. So try to have documentation. If you are not having legal contracts, of course we have not discussed at all about that, but the email also works in the beginning. So whatever you have discussed, you just send them, right? So that you both are clear, okay, what is going to be included. Are you going to give them monthly account, or are you going to give them the financial statements on a monthly basis? So just hypothetical example, But you have to be very, very clear. Your accounting does not include the financial statement. It does not include taxation. It does not include payroll. So what it actually includes and how many entries are going to be there. So for example, today they are going to tell you that, yes, we are having only 100 invoices, 200 invoices for this particular client, 500 invoices. Tomorrow they have started giving you 1,000, 2,000 invoices per month. So all of these things you have to mention. That's why this communication is very, very important. Don't be carried away by, okay, I'm having my first client already and I'm very, very happy. So yes, of course, we have to be enthusiastic. We have to show the enthusiasm also, but at the same time, we have to be confident and stable also, that yes, okay, this is something which I can deliver, and I am happy that we have started, and there's no issues in being honest that this is my first client, although I have got all the understanding and everything, but this is the first assignment that I'm doing practically, although I have worked on the sample data and everything. So there's no problem in that, but yes, you have to be firm and you have to keep the communication very, very transparent. So that is very, very important. And of course, all of these things you have to deliver. So for example, they have asked you for delivery. Also, you deliver a little bit extra. Yes, you can, in the beginning assignments, you can have a little bit add on. For example, they have asked for the accounting work. So what you can deliver is, for example, there are some major variances which are there. There are some heads where they have not, there are no invoices or any insights that you can deliver. So you can deliver a little bit extra so that they can know that you are having that value add. So your first clients are important from the perspective that you don't have to get any negative comment from them, and you have to deliver the value add. Why? Because then you are going to ask for the testimonials from them. So later on, you are going to ask, okay, if you really like the work, then you can write a few lines about me, what you felt, what you truly felt, right? And that is going to actually help you a lot, maybe on LinkedIn, maybe on Upwork, if they are going to give rating and something like that. That is going to actually enhance your profile at that places. Okay. Now what you have to do is you have done your first client, right? And then you have been reaching to new and new accounting firms, etc. And you are, second way is to register on different forums. You have to go to different webinars, etc. Right? There you will be engaging and you ask questions, good questions, ask quality questions, and then you reach out to people also. There are a lot of self-help communities also, right? What are these self-help communities? There, for example, a lot of freelancers are there. What happens is these freelancers don't know anything about their business. So there are a lot of, for example, there are some entrepreneur accelerator uh, communities. In this, what happens is the people who are, for example, MBA or people who understand how to grow business, all of these things, they register themselves as a volunteer. And the businesses, the freelancers who have just started their business as a dentist, they are there, or a photography someone is doing. So all these freelancers register there because they also want to grow their business. Now, we are not talking about accounting. We are just talking about a different aspect. So they are there, they have registered themselves because they want to grow their business. Maybe they want to, uh, a doctor who wants to reach to the corporates because he want to offer checkups, etc. to them, and of course want to go big. And any photographer who want to do multiple projects with different organizations. So they will register there so that they get idea, they get path. So you also register there as a guide, and of course, don't have it as if you are having a hidden objective of offering your accounting services. Of course, that is not the objective. The idea is to understand what is happening in the business space, right? So I myself am part of various forums like this, and it gives you a good understanding. Okay, what UK business is all about. Are they having the inflation hit? Of course, they are having right now. Okay, what are the things that those people as a businessman consider, okay, or think? So that will give you understanding of the business landscape. Second thing, that will give you understanding what business owner thinks, right? And that might be your first step of getting your own individual clients, who are the small business owners there, who are having maybe a single person running a shop, or maybe they are having 5, 6, 10, 15, 20, 50 employees. So that is going to be the starting point. Of course, you are going to try to help them in different assignments, and of course when they will definitely tell you themselves that yes, this is a VAT return deadline, okay, I'm finding someone, and my accounting firm has said no, or because I'm not able to provide the invoices or something like that. So there you are going to help them, and then you are going to come up, okay, this is the thing that I have been doing, and you yourself, they will come to know about it themselves also. So that is a good way of getting the individual clients. Now you have done work on the Upwork. Now you have got some individual clients also. You are on the LinkedIn also. You are getting traction over there because you are adding those work. Those testimonials are slowly and gradually adding to your profile. So that is going to build your profile, and always the focus should be on the quality. Always the focus should be on the timeliness. Yes, always the focus should be on the clear communication. And in the clear communication, let me tell you, of course, when you are having a profile, you are having your profile as a physical profile, the a PDF profile, but also you can have a video profile also, so that video is more engaging and people understand what are you as a person, or how you speak, you are fluent in English or something like that or not. So all these things are very important. You are clear in communication. So all these things actually help a lot. You have to be engaging on the teams, etc. Yes, and there are a lot of different platforms where people are there, but yes, this Microsoft and Google platforms help a lot because they are also using the same, you are also using the same. So you can, on a real time, you message them and they are going to say, okay, my work is done, something like that. And if they are having any problems, you are having the understanding of that problem on real time. And when the things grow and you are having your team now taking care of the things, then you be part of those teams channels and all, so that you understand what is happening, because you are there to actually oversee if everything is happening right, and if there is any client complaint or something like that, because the complaint is going to not come directly to you. It might not come to you at all. It might directly go to the negative reviews section, right? So you have to be mindful, okay, what kind of conversation is happening on the teams, and whether we are not providing on time, etc. So you can have send a dashboard also on a monthly basis. You are doing the work for someone, and then you give the dashboard also that there has been 100% timely delivery, something like that. And in this corrective because of this, something like that. Okay, now the question is, I'm not having.
यस सर। हाँ जी, मुझे लगता है उनका कनेक्शन इशू है।
Sorry, I think my connection went away. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay. 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 Since how long you are not able to hear me?
I think a couple of minutes have been, maybe the last 1.5 minutes. 1 minute maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. So I thought there might not be a long time. Okay, perfect. So yes, I'm back. So we were talking about, okay, when it is the right time to have a new hire, because for example, I am a sole proprietor. I am having my own firm. I've just started. I am not having any employee. When to have my first employee? I will answer it this way. Second thing is, okay, how to train my team and keep them ready also, right? So all these certifications that you have done, all these understanding that you are building regarding MTD, regarding HMRC, VAT returns, payroll, all of these things, you have to do it simultaneously for your team also, right? But yes, that is going to happen normally because you are already in the business of Indian practice. But so I will focus on this hiring new employee thing because this is something which, for example, is a little bit different. So when is the right time to hire a new employee? Or for example, I am having my staff, which is neck to neck and there is no bandwidth at all. When is the right time to have a new hire? Okay. The moment you are having a work of, say, for example, 30-35 hours per week, that is the right time to hire a new employee. Okay, because you are having work of one person already, and this is a regular work which you are having every month. You are having this kind of work. That means it's a 6 hours, 7 hours per day of work which you are having. That means this is the right time to employ a new person because that person can now take over this work, and then you can focus on building the portfolio. You can focus on getting the new clients. You can focus on the networking. You can focus on attending the international events, or you can focus on building the capacities. So all these things you can focus on, and that person can work. So try not to do everything yourself, not to do everything yourself. Involve people with you, because that is very important. That is why all these bigger organizations are able to track all these things, because they focus on particular aspects, not on the day-to-day work. So you have to separate yourself from the day-to-day work, and if you are having any existing team, of course you have to slowly and gradually you have to move the work to them. Of course, in the initial times you have to be very vigilant what is going out to the client, because everything is building from that first 5-10 connections only. Because, and don't think that everyone is going to give you testimonials. Don't think this at all, right? Because in UK people, and of course here in India also, that is a normal trend that the negative comments are going to come very fast, but the positive comments, positive reviews are going to take some time. So don't be very aggressive on that, right? Just give a nudge that yes, so this is something which we have been consistently doing. If you'd like to give a positive comment or some review, something like that, so that uh, we can grow better, we can hire more and better employees, something like that. Of course, that is something that you have to decide, but don't be very pushy about it. Otherwise, it is going to go in the negative direction, right? Okay. Now, of course, you have started keeping the pace up, and you are getting newer and newer clients, and slowly and gradually you are building up that space for you, right? And you are getting new clients. So of course, this is what you have to do. This is going to be the kind of 90-day plan. Think of it as if in 90 days you are having 90 days you are having, say, for example, if you are having, say, 10 clients also, 10 clients also, 5 clients also, I will say, even that is also. So you have actually built a good practice. Maybe you are earning maybe 5 lakhs per month, or 6 lakhs per month, or 10 lakh per month. So it is going to happen. Even it is 1 lakh or 2 lakh per month, that is also really good. And this is what you have done in 90 days only, not more than that. But definitely you don't have to start with the direct LinkedIn. You have to start with the certifications. You have to start it right way. You have to start it with building your understanding first, because what is going to happen is building your understanding, building your team, keeping your team ready first. Why? Because when you are going to go into the market and you are talking to the people, they are going to understand. And the first thing that they're going to ask is, okay, what is your exposure in zero? Or they are going to see it on your profile, right? Now, what is going to happen is at that point of time, you are going to face the problems, right? Because you are going to be completely ignored, or you are going to carry the bad image, negative image. So first thing first, you have to build your understanding, then you have to go to the market in a particular manner, Upwork and Fever and all those. I'll just discuss about all those places where you can register yourself, and then slowly and gradually you have to do all these things, right? So let me now go to my presentation again. Okay, now, what you have to do is, what are the common mistakes? So mistake number one, competing only on price. You don't have to compete only on the price. It's not a price war, because if it is a price war, if people are having 10 pound, 20 pound, 30 pound lesser than you are going to lose your customer. Always it is going to be a quality work thing that you are going to deliver, or maybe a little add-on also, so that you are able to add value to them also. It is not something that, yes, these are your accounts and done dusted. Maybe you are advising them a little more, you are creating a dashboard for them, and all these things are very easy in the era of AI, right? Okay, then mistake number two is poor communication and responsiveness. So you have to be responsive to the people, because these are the things that you are doing for the very first time. They are also trusting you, and with the communication, with the proactiveness, the trust actually increases a lot. They know that, okay, and they are going to start to feel the difference, that yes, my local accounting firm is not responding in one day or responding after 2 days, and this firm is responding in 2 hours, 1 hour, half an hour. So that is going to add a real trust for you, for your firm, in the business minds, right? Okay, if you are having mistake number three is insufficient UK knowledge. So you have to have an understanding of the business environment also. I have told you how you have to do that. You have to have an understanding of what are the MTD requirements, what are the UK gaps, FRS are there or not, what are you have to get the certification in the Zero, QuickBooks, and there are AAT courses also. So all these things are there. Mistake number four is no legal contracts and insurance is very important, right? So if someone is suing you, so you have to have a professional indemnity insurance always. So that is a requirement. So now what is going to be the coverage? That's a separate thing. And so you can't have an unlimited amount insurance. That is why you have to restrict your liability by your having the legal contract. And of course, in the beginning, if there's no legal contract, that is also okay. You can do it over email, but you have to make it very clear upfront that yes, this is the scope: 150 invoices, 100 invoices, and this much of time I'm going to spend, and this is going to be the output. These are going to be the output files, sample files are like this, right? So if there is any question, any dispute, so you have to be very open, transparent in terms of communication, and then the legal contracts. Okay. And of course, you don't have to over promise and under deliver. Always under promise and over deliver. So that is the mantra for success, because they are going to be happy. Okay, my accountant, this is the scope, but if he is doing, or she is doing, or this firm is doing this much extra, right? And it helps you getting the good reviews and keep you away from the bad reviews. Okay, ignoring data security, that this is very important, because their DPA, Data Protection Act, is there, and of course globally in the European Union the GDPR is there, and of course in India also DPDP Act is there. Data of the customer, of the client, is very important and has to be protected. So even if there is a virus attack, then also I am going to be responsible for that. So data security is very important. Always keep only those person engaged in the work who have to be there, or give the data access to those people only, even in your firm, who need to have that information. So there's a concept of need to know basis. So keep only those people in the loop who need to be part of that. Okay, not building a team or system. Of course, you don't have to do everything yourself. You have to make a system. You have to make a team. You have to create SOPs for every task, right? So this SOP term is very normal in the global practice. So SOP is something, okay, this is the process that we are going to follow. We are going to run these files. We are going to have this process, and then we are going to have this is output, right? And these are the steps that we have to follow always. And this SOP helps people a lot. Why? Because you are not there, then people can just follow the SOP and get the work done. Then you can review or someone else can review. But if there is no SOP, people don't know what to do, right? So this helps in scalability. If you're not there, then also things are happening, right? And you focus on adding the client base. Poor scoping and pricing, so you don't have to do a poor scoping. You have to understand, okay, what is the work? You have to note down everything. You have to mention everything in the contract or email or whatsoever, and you have to give the proper pricing for that, right? Don't underprice. Neglect relationship building. Relationship building is very important. So of course, you should definitely have regular calls, maybe monthly meetings, definitely you should have, and you should ask for the challenges or anything that they want to add, anything they want to have in addition, or anything they like, dislike, whatsoever. One-to-one calls are also very important. So you have those calls, you send them all the value add, all the articles, anything new which is happening. So you send them, so that don't make it very burdensome for them that you are sending every 1 hour one message. Don't do that. But yes, you tell them, okay, what is happening. You update them with what is happening in their space, so that they know, okay, my accountant is always on top of everything. So, and of course, you remember the personal things also. Wish them, you talk to them about the things that are happening in UK, but don't have an opinion about the things. No political opinions, etc. Don't have that. The safest is to have a discussion on the football or cricket or any other uh, uh, games, etc. So that sports, etc. So that is the safe zone. But whether you can discuss, but yes, the politics and especially having any opinion on anything is not good actually. You don't know what is the thought process. Giving up too early, you don't give up. You just keep on sending the proposals, right? Even if there are rejections, even if people are not responding, then you have to keep doing the things. After you have done all of these, what is going to happen is you have sent 20 proposals, then you have sent 200 proposal. Now you understand, when I write this in my proposal, then I get the work. When I write this in my proposal, I don't get. Now you understand how I have to build the proposal. Now you understand what is the thing that people like about me. Okay, they like my qualification, they like my sample work, they like my testimonial more. Whatever they like more, you have to adjust your proposals according to that. The way you are getting, so because it's a trial and error only, you are testing yourself, and then you are going on the path where you are more successful, right? So this is just like that. And you there are some red flags that you have to watch for in the potential clients. What are those red flags? If they're pushing for very low rates, £5 per hour, please don't pick up that work. Just for having your first work, don't pick up these kind of works, because there might be some hidden scope, there might be some hidden work. Okay, if they are unwilling to sign a contract or any DPA, right, data protection agreement, if there is a lot of vagueness about the scope, right, they are not clear, okay, what has to be included, and so there is a lot of vagueness. So don't accept such things. If there are poor reviews about those firms or those clients from the other service provider, if it is very disorganized, there are missing records, etc., what is going to happen is you have committed to them that you are going to have 150 invoices, but that 150 are never coming, right? So there is going to be dispute. Okay, then you will say, okay, you are not providing me the invoices. They will say, since the work is not done, we will not pay you. All of these things, try to avoid these things in the beginning. Just try to, because your time is also important, and it is having a opportunity cost. So rather than involving yourself in all of these things, try to have more understanding of the UK environment, all these taxation, accounting, FRS, payroll, all these things, right? And of course, if they are micromanaging every step, then please you stay away. And it might be possible that in the beginning people do that. Try to understand, okay, what is the general nature. If they are micromanaging everything, they want update on every minute, every hour, then that's not the right client for you. Okay, if there are payment delay or dispute over small amounts also, you have to politely decline. And if there are a high risk client, you have to charge premium for those clients. Okay, I'll just quickly go through. There are resources, of course. UK accounting standards, their ICAW website, FRC website is there, right? This FRC is the financial reporting authority there. So in India, we are having ICAI. ICAI set the standard, so make the standard also, and the members apply those standard also. In UK, it's not like that. ICAW is purely the members are applying the standards. FRC is making the standard. So there's a clear bifurcation between these in the UK. So yes, these are the website that you have to go. AAT is accounting technician, and there are courses. ACCA you already know. Right, so these are the sources of UK standard. Software training, of course, you have to do from these places, right? And there are a lot of YouTube channels also. We are having our UK course also, which is very comprehensive and cover all of this. Then industry news, for the industry news for different forums. So you can have these HMRC updates for, this is the government website. There are different accountant forum. Ignition is also a place where people write blogs, etc. There are a lot of networking groups, LinkedIn groups, Zero communities, QuickBooks also is having the network. So all these things are there. You please join these. And of course, understand the GDPR guidance, DPA guidance. And insurance is also very important. And very important, don't pick up any client where you think that there might be some money laundering thing or terrorism or any such thing. So stay away. Don't pick up any work. Just try to understand, okay, what this business is there. There are actually different websites of different agencies where you can find whether your customer is actually high risk customer, blacklisted or something like that. So you have to be careful also in terms of that, because if there's a money laundering thing involved, you are unnecessarily going to be dragged into that. So I have to, of course, I am going to set up my practice, but I don't have to do anything for any work, right? I just have to be mindful, be little choosy also when it comes to working in the domain. The same vigilance that we are having for our India customers or clients, the same vigilance I'm going to have for them also, right? Of course, without letting them know and without asking them tough questions, you just find about that company, okay, what this company is doing. If everything looks prima facie okay, then you go ahead, right? Of course, there's no need to have the extra vigilance or suspecting everyone, right? Okay, of course, for the business development, there are various website. Upwork is there, Fever Pro is there, and there are subscriptions also on these websites. So people per hour is also there. Then there's LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Don't send the cold email, please. Yeah. And of course, there are a lot of links that you can go for MTD. You just type MTD. There are a lot of certification, freelancing, right? A lot of different templates and technical knowledge is also there on the different websites. So you can have different WhatsApp channels, Telegram channels you can have, and there are various webinars, etc. also which happen on different platforms, which you can join. Then there are a few books that you can have. Yes, these books are going to add a lot value. You are going to understand, okay, how the things work, right? And they are going to give you the right mindset also. And of course, you have, this is your checklist, your 90-day plan. You are making the foundation, then you are entering the market, and then you are acquiring the client, and then you are ready to launch. Okay. Now, one last thing which I'm going to cover is the pitch deck, what you're going to have. So this is going to be kind of your pitch deck. What is the accounting industry issues and the Indian outsourcing advantages are there. So what is the workforce that you are having? That yes, I am having these much chartered accountant, these much accountants, etc. You can mention, and we are having people who are having technical proficiency, who are having communication proficiency. We are having expertise in these. And then, of course, you are offering these services you have mentioned. And then, what are the strategic benefits beyond cost? You have mentioned this. The quality and compliance assurance. Yes, you are compliant with these also, right? ISO certified or you are GDPR compliant, something like that. And then you are mentioning, okay, what are the industry trends, market validation, then what are the pricing models that you are having? You are having ad hoc or pay as you go, or you are having dedicated resource. FT is full-time employee or full-time resource, right? And then project based. So of course you can have all these things in your pitch deck. Then of course there's some success stories or testimonials you can add, how it works, what is the process. So now you are telling them, okay, we are not going to start from the day one and you are not going to get your accounts on day one. We are going to assess and we are going to have, and of course all these things are so that you are very much structured. Of course they will tell you all these things are probably you can do a quick little faster, etc. Then of course you can tweak this, and then of course you are having the full operations. Then technology platform expertise, we have discussed risk mitigation strategies, what you are having, what are the common concerns you mentioned, quality will drop, no, what are the things that you are going to take care, ROI calculator, client success metrics, what has been there, right? The outsourcing, why you have to act now. So all these things you have to keep in mind, right? And then of course, this is the first UK client roadmap, right? So you have to go to freelance platform, then direct outreach you can do to UK firms later on also, and of course networking and communities, different communities like I mentioned are going to get you the direct business clients also. And of course there is Upwork, and then there is People Per Hour, then there is Seaver, then there is Zero Advisory, QuickBooks. All these things are there. There are other websites also, right? And of course, how you are going to do the direct outreach. This is also, you have to create one pager, you have to create a video, LinkedIn or optimization. Yes, email campaign also you can launch, but of course there are guidelines of ICI also, so we have to be mindful in that also. Okay, these are some of the templates. Or of course you have to do networking, then you can go to different websites and you can be part of different groups, different webinar for learning. So there are monthly, weekly webinars, etc., which happen here in ICI also we are having. Then of course you have to have first 7-day channel challenge, and we are having 90-day plan already. And that's how you are going to go ahead with the thing. So what I'll do is I'll just stop my screen share, and yes, if there are any questions, we'll be happy to.
Thank you, Preeti, for such an insightful session. Your thoughts, I'm sure, have truly sparked curiosity. We've received several interesting questions from the audience that we really appreciate your insights on. So the first question for you is, what are the specific skill sets in terms of tax laws, softwares, etc., required to cater to the UK clientele? And how do you access the UK market?
Okay, so software skills, of course, Zero, QuickBooks, you can start with these. Taxation, the HMRC website is sufficient. There are a lot of YouTube channels also which are there. And of course, we are having our UK course also, the WTO UK course also that we are having. So all these are going to build, so these are going to be the building blocks. Of course, you don't have to go first day and you are going to first day you are going to deliver. No, it's not like that. First of all, we have done our chartered accountancy in 3, 4, 5 years, right? So you have to give at least some amount of time for building the things. And of course, these are going to be the resources which you can. So in today's era, resources are not a limitation at all, right? You are having a lot of AIs also, which are going to help you in a lot of research, right? So you can start with, so to start with software Zero, QuickBooks, the way I have mentioned. Then third step is HMRC website. Don't get into tax consultancy first. Start with bookkeeping, then you start with VAT, etc. Right?
Thank you. I think that really clarifies the point. And we've also got on a related note, let me bring up another question we've received. It's building a global practice, how we initiate startup in UK.
Okay, you want to initiate startup in UK. First of all, whether this startup is a business or not, that is one thing. Second thing is, if you're talking about setting up your UK firm, then question is whether it is really required or not for having a UK practice, right? Okay, so I will answer all of that. So the thing that I have mentioned is that first of all, you don't have to set up any practice there. You don't really have to have a partner there, or you don't really have to have an address, or you don't really have to have ICAW qualification if you want to start the accounting outsourcing. Now, second thing is, if I want to have a firm there, yes, of course, I can have a firm there also. I can have an ICAW qualification also, and our institute is having that MOU also. So you just have to, I think, 5 years experience you have to have, and then you just have to fill a form and something like that, and you have to tell them that this is the experience that I'm having. That is going to be sufficient, right? And for having a startup there, of course, you can have a startup also there in the UK market. There are a lot of websites and there are self-help communities. So one is, for example, Hatch, UK Hatch, with which I am associated. Of course, there are a lot of and a lot of communities which are there. Not to name any community, you can go on their website and then you can see what all they are having. So there are a lot of different startups which are there, and you can definitely have one, right?
Thank you. That's a great takeaway. We actually had a related question which you answered is whether we need to be a member of the UKCA Institute and follow the ICA pathway to get clients. So thank you for that.
You can, but no need on first day.
Perfect. Thank you. Another question that we received is how is the usual payment mechanism which happens? Like what is the mode of payment and usual credit period?
Okay, so the payment is completely dependent on your terms. What is the usual one? So if you go to Upwork, etc., so you get payment very timely. But yes, there is a commission also 10-20% that is going to be deducted. And then there are a lot of platforms also. You don't need to have wire transfers are also happening. That is also not an issue. But there are other platforms also which are there and where the payment comes in very quickly. Second thing is what is going to be the credit period, etc. And is it going to be, so like I have mentioned, it is £15, £20, £30 hourly. Is going to be hourly payment or monthly payment, weekly payment, how it's going to happen, right? So usually this hourly framework works in the beginning. Later on, when the things get sorted and people like your work, and then it's going to be a monthly thing, mostly, right? So you are going to have the monthly accounting closing, etc. That is the normal trend that people follow. Now the payments are also going to be monthly, and the credit period is 30 days. The standard credit period is 30 days that you are going to follow. So this is something that you have, and of course you have to be communicating it properly that yes, this is something, the billing cycle is going to be like this, and then it's going to fall in place in a timely manner.
Great. Thank you, Arpreet, for clarifying that point. We have another question where it's how do I start my own global practice and get clients? I know you've spoken about that in your presentation, but if you could bring out the key points.
Okay, sure. So definitely, sir, ma'am, whosoever have asked question. So what we have to start with is, so 3 phases, 90 days plan I have given you. First of all, you have to build your understanding, certifications in accounting, understanding of taxation, etc., the environment. Then you have to build an account over Upwork, or there are a lot of platforms like that, Fiverr, People per Hour, all of these, right? So you start building your portfolio there, and then add all of these. Why I'm having the certification? Because I'll add there, right? So I will add those certifications there, and then I will start bidding on different contracts. So I'll submit my proposals. And then, of course, on side by side, I am going to have my LinkedIn. I'm going to connect with people. I'm going to have different accounting web, other forums. I'm going to go. Then I'm going to when I'm going to bid. Of course, I have to be very quick, right? I have to be one of the first people who are bidding. That's how I'm going to slowly build. I'm going to get my first client, and of course, I'm going to work on that, get positive testimonials, and slowly, gradually, that's how I'm going to do.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for summarizing that for us. So we have another question. It says that you said that FRS is almost same as Ind AS. So are there any carve-outs that can be studied?
Yes. So 1 second. So I took sessions on these earlier. So there are of course carve-outs. And yes, you can simply go on maybe Google. I was planning to share my screen, but that's okay. So you can go on Google or ChatGPT or any. You can ask about what are the differences, right? So FRS 102 is very common, so which is applicable on all the entities which are not micro or small, right? So for micro or small, it is FRS 105, 1A or other. So basically, what is this? What is this FRS? These FRS is having you have IFRS separate 1, 2, 3 IFRS different 10. Every FRS is different, right? On different topics. But this FRS 102 is a comprehensive PDF or a comprehensive standard, which is covering all the topics, right? It is covering revenue also, it is covering consolidation also, everything. Now, this FRS 105 is again a comprehensive, but the requirements are lesser, right? So this is something which of course you have to understand, and we are covering, by the way, this as part of the UK course also. So 3 days we are going to focus on accounting only, right? 3 days means 3 sessions are going to be there for this.
Okay. Thank you, Harpreet. That was really helpful. Another question we have for you is there any scope for Indian firms in taking on outsourcing work from French or Latin-speaking countries?
Okay, French or Latin-speaking countries also, but the chairman sir told, so UK and US and then Australia, Canada, these are the common ones where we are having more demand also. We are having that expertise also. So our standards are near to each other. Then we are having that visibility also for Indian chartered accountants. Definitely, few people are in touch. We are working who are working for these nationalities also, and that's not also an issue. So yes, there's a chance. There are possibilities, but try
Thank you.
these first if you are starting early.
Okay. Thank you. Another very interesting question for you is AI disrupting the outsourcing market or actually helping it?
Okay, now that's a thing which AI is definitely your assistant, right? And it is, I think, it's helping you. Why? Because it is so AI. There are various stages of AI. This is artificial narrow intelligence stage where we are right now. Of course, it is going to go in artificial general intelligence and super intelligence. These are the stages. Now, narrow intelligence is where AI is not able to deliver. It is only able to prototype. It is not going to be able to do the 100% work. It is going to be able to do 70% work. Now, what about that 30% which is left, right? If you don't have any knowledge, you will not be able to complete this circle. Inevitably, you are needed there. That means that AI is going to help you only, right? So if with the help of AI, you can do the things faster. And if the business enterprises are not able to do, then of course you are having the edge and it is helping.
Okay. Great. That is very helpful. We also have somebody in the audience who's asked us that, the individual is working in an organization, and is it possible for them to start side by side in individual capacity, or should they have to set up any firm in India for outsourcing?
Okay, yeah, of course, you can go in the individual capacity also, not an issue.
So there is I'm going
I
to
mean, of
just
course,
pick up
the ethics, think about ethics and the
Yes.
ICI guidelines. No, I am not talking of, from that perspective, but I'm telling you generally, yes, of course, you can start as an individual also. So just to quote, yeah, yeah, please go ahead.
Great. So somebody in the audience has also asked if you have any recommendations for the best UK taxation book that is available.
Okay, so in the terms, in the era of AI, don't rely on the books, I would say. Just go ahead and search for the information rather than books, because books are having a specific knowledge up to a time. So just go for internet. I am going to internet for anything and everything. Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to the next question. Have you faced any problem that you deliver timely work and the payment is not done? And if that's happened, what have you done in such a situation?
Okay, so that's a very good question, and that's a practical thing which happens. So the thing is, of course, when the payment issues are there, your contract and your communication that you have done over email or something like that, that is a savior for you, right? So first of all, when I'm talking about you understand the business, then what you are going to do is you are going to have, okay, are you dealing with the accountant, etc. only, or are you dealing with the top boss of the firm there? Number one. Number two is if they are not paying you, then of course there are going to be reminders, and that is why the community thing helps a lot. So when you are having some community, when you are having people, then you can have an indirect pressure also on them, right,
Right.
for making the payment. But this is a practical problem which happens, and that is why you have to be very choosy about your clients also, right? And you have to be mindful also about the things that are happening in the business. For example, the business sales are decreasing every day. Now this is a signal that in the future your payment might be stuck. So you have to be proactive from that perspective also, and then you have to, of course, if it is stuck, then you have to take the steps. So.
Okay. Well, thank you. I think that's a very that's a very interesting perspective on it. So we have somebody asking if you are aware of when the next certification course on the UK outsourcing is planned.
So yes, like Abhay sir mentioned, they are going to roll out very soon. I am not aware about the dates, but it is going to be on the WTO Directorate and ICA website. So don't worry about that. You are going to easily find it. But otherwise, someone from the technical team want to answer, they can tell.
Perfect. Now, again, this is payment related. What if, some assignments that somebody has delivered mention some specific hours, but in practical, it took more than the specified. So what should one do in such scenarios? I think it again boils
Yes.
down to ethics, what you had mentioned earlier.
No, so that's again a very practical thing which happens, right? That is why you have to mention the scope clearly, that this is going to be my output, and this output contains processing 150 invoices, and that is why this experience helps. Now you understand that is why I have told you, you understand the work first and don't get into the messy work or which is very unstructured, because you don't know how much time you are going to spend on that, right? And that thing is going to happen in the beginning days with you for sure. 100% it's going to happen, right? So that is why I have talked about building understanding about the environment, the work, the taxation, everything. Then secondly, you have to be clear about what you are going to cover. So scope also you define, and if number of hours increase, it has happened once. Now for future you correct your pricing, etc. Right?
No, that's very, very practical. So thank you for that. I think one last question is if you can provide everyone the roadmap that you had shared the roadmap. I think the 90-day roadmap is what people are wanting to refer to, if that is possible.
Okay. Okay. Sure. I will share with the committee and they can share with you. So that's not a problem at all. You can write to the committee for that and we will send you. That's not a problem, of course. But I am sure people must have taken the screenshots.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But thank you. And just in the interest of time as well, I think thank you so much, Harpreet ji, for this really insightful and enriching system. You've actually so beautifully unpacked the opportunities, the challenges within the UK financial outsourcing landscape, showing us, how Indian firms and professionals can really move beyond just service providers, but being strategic global partners. Your perspectives on technology, on talent readiness, I think truly resonate. And I'm sure everyone here is walking away with valuable insights and a renewed sense of possibility. On behalf of the Institute and the Global Udan series, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to you for sharing your experience and your time with us today. A special thanks to C. Abhiji as well, all our dignitaries, and all our participants for being such an engaging audience. I think your presence, your questions has truly elevated this session today. As we conclude, let's carry forward the spirit of Udan, to think global, to act strategic, and to continue pushing our boundaries of what Indian professionals can achieve on the world stage. Thank you, everyone, once again for being part of this session. Have a wonderful day ahead, and let's keep learning, collaborating, and growing together.
Thank you.
Thank you.